Hello, everybody. I'm Delphine Zombo. I'm a CG animator in Capcom. I lead the cinematic team and facial animation. So, just to like a quick introduction of what I did before, I'm from cinema, movie, and TV show animator. I did animation for several uh, TV show, movies, and other things, as you can see. And then one day I worked on Final Fantasy 15 movie, and that's how I switched to video game. This movie. So in 2016, I start to work in Square Enix, and I was working with the visual work team doing only cinematics for several titles. So Kingdom Hearts and other Final Fantasy, Dissidia. Yeah. And so how how to get great animation for cinematics? That's the question. So yeah. So first of all, we have trailer. Trailer is very important part for the video game. So that's what we're gonna make you buy the game. So it has to be punchy, it has to be powerful, and just quickly know what is the game actually, what you're gonna buy. Also, most of the trailer is also the opening cinematic for the video game. So when you start the game, you have this kind of opening video which warm you for the game. It's also very important because it's gonna give you information about characters you're gonna play, characters, non-playable characters too. What's the atmosphere, the world, what you're gonna do in the game. So that's very important. The opening cinematics are always very important, and there is maybe more budget for the opening. Like in this case for Resident Evil Remake. Yeah, and you hear Chris because that's the second Resident Evil. On the previous one, you play Chris Redfield. In this one, you're gonna play Claire Redfield. So it's very important to get this kind of information from the beginning before you play the game. So yeah, and in this case, you directly switch to the gameplay. So sometimes you have this kind of cinematics who's very with the gameplay, so you don't really know when you play, when you watch. So it has to be the same. And here it's like, so it's still the opening cinematic, and you're gonna play the game, and they're gonna explain you how to play. So yeah, kind of the train. And here we have Leon Kennedy. Yeah. So this kind of cinematics is very important to bring the player in the game. Don't forget, like, of course, cinematics and cutscenes, that's movies, but we are in video games. So as a player, you need to be inside the game and you're not a watcher, you're a player, always. Also, cinematics is very known for amazing motion and amazing video with the character you play and the character you fight. So for example, in this cutscene, that's the final cutscene, and this is very important to cheer the player, to congratulate him to have spent so much hour in the game with such a great and amazing final video. So yeah, so it's a lot of effort to put in this kind of cinematics and cutscene. Also can be also commercial, like fan service. In this case, that's phone application. if you pay, like you can get some cinematics, extra cinematics with the character you like, the character you like to play. So there is a lot of stuff to do with cinematics. Yeah. So what's our cutscene and what's our cinematics? So yeah, you had like kind of a good introduction already, but yeah, the goal is really to give to the player quickly what is gonna be about, who you're gonna play with, who. And of course for animation, maybe we're gonna think we have to have a very good motion capture, because it's gonna help to get the best motion and have like a reality, very high reality. But actually, not only the quality, maybe the most important is attention, because don't forget, it's cinematics but for video games, so you inside the game, so you need to put some details and yeah, some action that make you feel you are still the character, you're not a watcher, even it's a cutscene and you stop playing at this moment. So yeah, of course it's video games, so it's not like Hollywood. We maybe don't have the same budget and maybe not the same time, because of course cutscene is maybe way longer than a movie, you know. So it's a bit complicated to yeah to figure it out and have a very great quality. So how we do that, one, I think experience and skill, like your self experience and skills. um Whatever you did in your life, I don't know if you played football, you went to salsa dance, whatever, try to always use your personal experience and try to put in the game, or the project you're working on as an animator. It always will help. And it's of course you don't, maybe you don't have that much experience or whatever, but if you see something close to what you did in your life or something, always try to push and put your knowledge there. um, can be whatever, you know, whatever you experience, just try to add that to the project. Don't just use the motion capture and just clean it, you know. You clean the motion capture, you're gonna try to keep the best part, but you know, like motion capture, most of the time there is always a lack of intensity in the acting and whatever. So this lack of intensity, you need to find some way somehow to give back this power. Yeah. So it's not about having like the best motion and like, you know, of course it's good to be a great animator and have the best skill and do the best work. And it's more about, because we don't have that much time most of the time, just had at some time at with like maybe a good timing, some details that will bring some power and intensity in the motion. So yeah, that's about that. So skills, your personal skill will always improve. Also, the best weapon is of course observation. You have to observe, because not everybody have like, you don't know everything, you know. You're not a scientist, or I don't know, we don't know about how like a car works. We don't know everything, of course, and yeah, we don't have the time to learn everything. So the first thing is just to observe. You don't have to know 100% what you're doing as an animator, but you need to observe like how it works. And if you want to go deeply and learn how it is, then that's good. But first of all, like in this example, there is like an eagle, and yeah, just watch on YouTube, or I don't know, whatever, where you want to find any video, or books and just watch how this eagle fly and try to understand why the tail is moving and like open and close, and try to put that in the animation. Don't just leave it like that. Just try to add some details, and not everywhere. It's just like sometimes on the animation had some detail. You don't have to move the tail every time, just some. Then inspiration. Of course, we are artists, so we need inspiration, right? Try to add this inspiration, whatever. Like, I don't know if you like your favorite artist is, I don't know, Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga. Try to add, if there is something you like and it maybe match your character or the thing you do, try to add that. So in this example, we had this kind of monster character, and the name is Kogutsu, and it was kind of new in Square Enix to have this kind of character. Wasn't a zombie, wasn't exactly a robot. We don't really know what is it. It's kind of the inspiration is Japanese monster. So, but we wanted to have some weird, scary, but cool motion. So yeah, we did like this animation, but how to bring something different. And the point is you have to check everything. So maybe we checked spiders, the way the spider moves, and yeah, like maybe robots. We watch, like, we're gonna try to find so many reference and just keep this part and this part. In this case, I remember at this time I really liked this artist Banks, and I've seen this movie music video, and that's dancer and pretty close to the character I like. So the point is, try to find reference as far as you can, and then at the end you just pick up only the part you like. For example, for this pose, yeah, you can find so many reference like flamenco, pole dancing, circus, whatever. Like, try to always have a reference from a lot of things, and then you're gonna have something creative and very special. And yeah, don't stick with the motion capture or like the basic pose you have. Try to add something a little far, and doesn't take so much time to search reference. It's just like the final thing is very the attention, like something new, something different. Like, you can mix, even it's a human, you can find good, I don't know, good motion or something, good reaction from like I don't know, a lizard or something. Try new stuff, and that's how it's gonna push your animation to another level of quality. Yeah, that was for this pose. So inspiration is very important. And then, of course, self-education. Of course, it goes with the observation. So self-education is like, you observe something and you want to understand why it moves like that, why it's different from something else. For example, because I do facial animation, so of course I learn about micro expression. So micro expression is face language, and it's something that happened only like maybe less than half of a second. So it's very hard to see, but your brain can understand what happened in someone else's face, and that express what you really think. That's micro expression. So you can learn about it. Of course, it's very very detailed, and if you don't have time and you don't have the yeah, the project goes with that, you don't have to learn about micro expression. But you like, so it's Paul Ekman. You have actually, this is his tool. You can apply for that. You can learn about micro expression, but the most important to me is maybe to learn more about the 7 face expression. So you know how is a smile and someone happy, someone is sad, but go search yourself, go search more about why when you're sad it goes down and stuff like that. Just try to search a little more, push a little more, and then maybe you get better why you have this kind of face. In this example, so it's Zelda Breath of the Wild. uh, I feel this scene is very powerful. Even the character is not uh realistic, like it's not human realistic, it's very cartoonish, and you have only brows like that, and you don't have so much detail on her face, but we clearly feel the pain and we clearly feel the emotion because the animator know about the facial expression, and like very, like you, that's why I show this, because doesn't take so much effort to create this, but we clearly get the emotion and we almost want to cry, you know. So it's not, yeah, here, and then she feels okay, she feels better, we can see it again, very easy. Two pose, two key pose, I mean, of course you do, yeah, but you have only two pose: surprise, oh wow, and then okay, I feel safe. So easy, so easy, really. But maybe other people will maybe just do like leave her like surprise, but just this subtle, like this is very important, I think, you know. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, it's self-education by yourself. Try to um understand why things happen, why when you use a motorcycle and you jump, why it moved like that. Like, try to understand sometime, not every time, because we don't have the time, of course, but if you can push it and then just put this little motion at this timing, and you can leave the rest of the scene or the shot as you want, with only the motion capture and just a quick editing. Just always try to add a little part with something interesting, something you really put your heart on it and really search about it. It can be anything, you know. Small motion, like a thumb, like you can touch the face and have a slight thumb motion there, and it's nothing, it really doesn't take that much time, but it will brings your motion to something more touchy and without so much effort. So yeah, here's my conclusion. It was very quick, I wish I could like give more, and yeah, but I hope you get it. It was more like beginner talk, but I hope you get what I wanted to share with you. And yeah, I'm open to any question, and thank you for watching. Voila.
Okay, it was very interesting and amazing lecture.
Thank you.
Thank you. And first question, are there any fundamental difference between animation for cinema and for cinematics game?
How did I didn't get the first question, the beginning, sorry.
Are there any fundamental difference between animation for cinema and for cinematics game?
Fundamental difference. I think there is not a very big difference from cinema and cinematic, but because both you have to deserve the scenario. But the difference with the cinematic is very, like, you have to understand you really serve the game. So you're not the main dish in this project, right? But it's gonna be like let's say like a movie. When you watch a movie, sometimes you don't get some detail and it's fine. But for a video game, you really need to give this kind of detail in the cinematic, because most of the time you play the character, but you don't see yourself, right? It's very important to connect with the player and themselves, if they play the same character, with the cinematic, and show them details on the body and the personality and stuff. So it's very important to give those kind of detail on your cinematic to make the player very inside the game. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Uh, are there any differences in animation depending on the country of production, in your opinion and experience?
How about country? Yeah, like I would say like Japan have like a very own uh style. It's not very too different, but there is like other codes um in Japan that you don't have in America, that you don't have in France. It's every each country have his specificity, and let's say just an example. Most of the time, when a character is very serious and very deep on the, I don't know, very intense. So maybe Hollywood or uh, most of part of the world, maybe USA, will be the character will have the open mouth like that. But in Japan, it means you're maybe dumb or stupid. So most of the time they will always close the mouth, because in their mind is it's more like serious than open mouth. So that's this kind of really small difference, but there is not that much different actually. Yeah.
Question: Are are you using your own photogrammetry rig for head scans? Is there a chance to partner with Capcom, like outsourcing cinematic character development?
Um, Once again, with the rig, I used my own rig
Rig for head scans. Thanks.
for head skin. Oh, you mean for facial rig? Or he's talking about the motion capture? I don't get it. Sorry.
Okay, we can. I can ask you next question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How often are technical restrictions interfere with an original intention from the animator? How do you resolve this situation in the pipeline?
um, uh, Again, I didn't understand the beginning of the question. Can you
How
repeat
often
again?
a technical restriction interfere with an
Oh,
original intention from the animator? How do you resolve this situation in the pipeline?
yeah. Actually, that happened a lot. um, uh, yeah, like sometimes we have problems, like the rig doesn't work well, and yeah, and still the time still counting, you know. So yeah, that's why I try to use this kind of trick, not maybe having all the motion perfect, but just some part. And then if we really don't have the time, then we have to cut some intention we wanted to do. So yeah, it's we have to do some choice sometimes. So if we can have some trick, like as I try to explain today, but we really don't have the time to do it, then yeah, we have, in this case, we're gonna choose which part of the cinematic is the most important, and just give the all the time we have in this yeah, this part of the story. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.